Hello, I'm SnipingIsFun, and this is going to be a video response to Dom Dawson Writer blog. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm the getting to know Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT fan. Um, Basically a few questions and answering them, like why you like Dragon Ball Z and like everything about that, pretty much. Earlier today I came across like his video and like Stormsink's response to it and a few other people's responses to it, and I thought maybe I should do my own version to this. So I'm going to give my response to it as well and see how how I'd be able to do this. Like I'll give you my answers to the questions as well. Um, Question one: how long have you been a Dragon Ball fan? Um, I think I've been a Dragon Ball fan since like the mid to late '90s or so. I can't really remember exactly. I think it was when I was in elementary school back at our old house. I pretty much I watched it on TV. I came across it when it was on a Cartoon Network and everything. Around the same time I got into Sailor Moon as well, pretty much. So it's been about maybe 13, 15 years or so now. Back it was way back in the like late '90s. I'd say probably 97. Well, I can't really be mid. It'd be late. So about 97, 98 ish. I'd say maybe is when I got into it. Maybe 96. Not 96. 97 or 98, I think. Back when I lived in our old house when I was like in second grade, I think. That was a long time ago, especially since I'm in college now. Um, what is your earliest Dragon Ball memory? Basically, just watching the show back then when at our old house. Basically, just watching. That's the only thing I can my earliest memory. Just watching it and having my friend like talking to like one or two of my friends about the show at school. Maybe the toys. There was no games out really then, except for the Japanese games my friend had. Um, Basically, just watching the show back when I first got into the show, like in elementary school. That's basically the earliest memory I could actually think of. Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character? Well, back in the past, I would totally have said Goku. And to an extent, I still would, but right now, I really can't think of an all-time favorite character. I like Gohan, Vegeta's cool, Krillin, Yamcha's cool. I just have a lot of favorites, so I really don't have an exact favorite, but it's like Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha. Just as a general view, almost all a majority of the characters are cool. But back then, when I was younger, I would have totally said Goku pretty much. But now it's kind of like really kind of varied actually. So basically, I'd just say a lot of characters from the show, like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Gohan, Videl, Android 18, Yamcha, Tien. Just basically the general idea. Just a lot of characters are cool. Um, what is your most prized Dragon Ball possession? I wouldn't say these are prized or anything. I don't really have anything like prized Dragon Ball possession or anything, pretty much. But I would say these things are probably the my most I like pretty much the three PS1 Japanese um, um, video game imports, pretty much, especially Dragon Ball Z Legends right here, especially that one. And then there's Final Bout and Ultimate Battle 22. I showed you these games in my PS1 collection, and this would probably be close enough to it for being like a prized possession, although there's nothing really I have. And then I have this Goku action figure right here. Let's see if I can get him close. I got this from my friend Marlon many years ago. And Marlon, if you ever see this video, I still have this guy. And I still do have a lot of my Dragon Ball, a couple of my Dragon Ball Z toys. I did end up selling a lot of them, but I did keep a couple of my favorite ones. They're upstairs. Maybe one day I'll show you those, but I keep this one because it's my friend. My friend Marlon gave me this, and it's still pretty cool. It's like the first Dragon Ball Z toy I ever got, one of the first ones. So I would consider that, although it's not really prized possessions. It's pretty much something that I probably would put above a few other things, actually. Where are you from? I'm from United States. I'm from Michigan. That's all I'm gonna really say. Um, Outside Dragon Ball, what do you do with your life? Um, basically, I go to college. I'm in Baker College. I'm in the computer animation field. I plan on becoming a video game designer one day. I play lots of video games. If you've seen my collection videos, you will have known I have a lot of PS1 games, PS2 games, GameCube games, various Game Boy games. I have now a Super Nintendo now. I have the Wii and everything. And basically, I watch anime. I make videos on YouTube. You'd know that. I've been making videos since late 2006. I hang out with my family. Basically, that's all I can do to say. What is the origin of your YouTube name? Basically, whenever I play a first-person shooter, I just like using sniping. That's where I got the name SnipingIsFun from. I like sniping in like Time Splitters and Halo, and maybe in Call of Duty. I'm not fully sure about that actually. As well as any first-person shooter game I've ever played, like GoldenEye or any game, any first-person shooter game I play. I most of the time lately, not when I first got into first-person shooters, I wouldn't say I was using sniper rifles because I probably wasn't that good back then. But every now and then, if the controls are good enough and I can get used to them, then I probably would snipe. And sometimes I find it fun. Some first-person shooter games I'm not good at sniping, or it's not fun to do it, so it's better to do other weapons in it. But that's where I got my name. Whenever I play a first-person shooter game, I just usually like to use sniper rifles sometimes. Not all the time. I like varying it up depending on who I'm playing and whatnot. But that's where the origin of my name came from. And also, I really couldn't think of another name at all. So I thought the name kind of was cool. And that was another reason. I just think the name was cool on top of the whole playing the game kind of thing, pretty much. Whose videos do you watch? I only wrote down a couple, so I wouldn't take forever. Stormsting Impact, the Spinnernet, the Angry Video Game Nerd, the Nostalgia Critic, the ICCW Owner, the Irate Gamer, the Wii Viewer, the Cartoon Fiend, Ultimate UKKF Fan, or I don't know how his name's actually. I forgot how it actually went. Parental Floss, the Peanut Butter Gamer, Ocarina Hero, and people like that. And basically my cousins on here as well, like the Insane Gaming Geek and whatnot. What's my favorite saga? I'd probably say the Saiyan saga, because that's the saga I first got into. Although I do think the Namek/Frieza saga and the Android/Cell sagas were pretty good, but they'd be right behind because I think since I grew up with the Saiyan saga, I probably would like the Saiyan saga a lot more. I think it's probably my favorite with those sagas I just said, like right behind it actually. For Dragon Ball Z at least. For Dragon Ball, I didn't grow up with Dragon Ball. I probably seen it in like the early 2000s a little bit, but never really got into it until like last year, the year before. I was a fan of it before then, but really I watched through it. It was the first time last year was the first time I finished actually watched the entire show of Dragon Ball. And I think that in Dragon Ball my favorite saga would probably be the King Piccolo saga, or the World Martial Arts Tournament where it's Goku versus Tien in the finals. I really don't know. The entire series is actually so good I can't really pick one. And for GT, it's probably Super Android 17 actually. If you could be any Dragon Ball character, who would you be? Really, I don't know exactly who I'd want to be. I'd probably pick Gohan because Gohan's a pretty cool character. And I don't know. I really can't answer that question. I don't know who I actually would like to be, probably. Since a lot of characters in the show are actually quite interesting, actually. I don't know. I'll just pick Gohan. I'll just say Gohan. I might change my opinion later, but that's about that. And the final question, which do you prefer, the English or Japanese voices of music? Just due to the fact that I basically grew up with the English version, and I've seen mainly the English version. I have seen a few Japanese things here and there from like YouTube, and I think my friend Marlon had a few tapes when I used to go over his house when I watched a few, but that was about it. I'm not saying I don't like the Japanese version. One day I want to actually watch the Japanese version. But which ones I prefer currently? The English voice actors. Although when I play the video games like the Japanese imports, I actually do think a lot of the beam attacks and the special attacks sound cool in Japanese. So one day I'll start watching the Japanese version more. I've seen a few scenes here and there, but not a whole lot. And well, that's my response on why I'm a Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT fan. Hope you guys liked it. See you guys in my next movie.